Now you will learn few ways to control your simulation, like setting time unit and ending simulation. If you want to see the signals in a waveform window, you need to dump the signal values into appropriate waveform database. It can be done by adding their lines into the testbench program. In an initial, begin, end block, add these lines. $dumpfile dump.vcd and $dumpers of 1. Next is ending up the simulation. Your simulation will start immediately after pressing the Run or Start button, but you need to end it explicitly in your program, once you have done with all stimulus injection and checks. It need to be ended using the $finish function in Verilog or Systemverilog. In EDA Playground, if you are not ending the simulation appropriately, it will be terminated after a specific time, and in that case, you will not be able to see any waves after simulation. Next is simulation time controls. First you need to decide and set the basic time unit and most time precision needed in the simulation. It can be selected based on the frequency of your circuit and other timing parameters. For example, if your circuit is operating at a frequency of 10 MHz, the time period needed is 100 nanoseconds. In that case, your single time unit should be less than that. Here it is set to 1 nanosecond. You will understand more about time unit when we generate a clock signal in the next session. In Verilog and Systemverilog, these can be given using the timescale option, like timescale 1 nanosecond, where the first number is for time unit and next is for precision. Alternatively, in Systemverilog, these can be given using the SV-specific keywords time unit and time precision. Next is hash delays in Verilog or Systemverilog. You can add a single time unit delay in the program by writing #1 in it. A hash in the program will wait for n time units of time in the simulation there. For example, if you give as #5, the program will wait for 5 time units in the simulation. Next you will see a simple program to generate a clock and reset signal in a TB. Assume the clock frequency needed is 10 MHz and the timeaperoid is 100 nanoseconds. Thus your clock signal need to be switching from 1 to 0, and 0 to 1, in every 50 nanoseconds. Here is the program.